Yeah.
All my niggas round the world, grinding to get it, grinding to get it. Fucking pay that ticket if that work, take it too. I'ma cook it up like chicken, cook it up like chicken, cook it up like chicken. All my niggas round the world who be grinding to get it, grinding to get it. Fucking pay that ticket if that work, take it too. I'ma cook it up like chicken, cook it up like chicken, cook it up like chicken. Appreciate the hustle, nigga. Chopper be the muscle, nigga. On the come up out here, nigga. Don't get dumb about her, nigga. Hey. You from up out here, nigga. You a bum up out here, nigga. Not the two, not the three. I'm the one up out here, nigga. What a nigga bleed for.
Hey, what up, though? OG Kenny, O_G_Kenny at Retired from the Streets TV, and welcome to another, let's not forget, another edition of Retired from the Streets TV. I'm all over the place. Hey, but I've been working, man. I've been grinding, working, grinding. You talking about crazy. House full of kids, house full of dogs. I'm back on midnights with my man at the laundromat, trapping it out with him. We got a big contract with Shinola Hotel to do all of their linen and stuff. So we on that tip with it, you feel me? So yeah, y'all hear kids in downstairs, man. They listen, I'm telling you, it's still summertime for them. School ain't started back quite yet. So anywho, man, I'm still in Virginia with these stories. I think this is gonna be my last week with the Virginia story because I wasn't down there that long, right? Not that long, but so look, I'm down in Virginia, right? Jared, Virginia, Greensville Correctional to be exact. Shout out to Banky Pound, Team Banky Pound, TBP. And like I had never had no ink, no tattoos in my life. And everybody kept saying, don't get no tattoo in prison, bro. Don't get no tattoo in prison because you're gonna get infection, staph infection, MRSA. They got the flesh eating diseases. You're gonna get AIDS. They said all type of weird stuff. And I'm like, hold on. Excuse me. I'm like, I ain't that scared, first of all. And then I started seeing different dudes. Hold up, phone time. They gotta call me back. Anywho, I'm seeing different individuals, how their technique was, how they was getting real, like needles and stuff. I told you Virginia was wide open. Virginia was wide open, and we was getting stuff down there we couldn't get elsewhere. Think about when the dude gets some real equipment in there, and I'm about to get my first tat, and I'm like, oh, I get to get it done. You know, and I'm geeked about that. When the day come, because look, let me take you back a little bit. I'm down there conversating with this dude, and he looked familiar. And I'm like, well, I know you from, bro. And we get to talking. He my brother, man, my Muslim brother, my Atlantic brother. You know what I mean? So as we get to conversing and kicking, and we kind of clicked off rip. And he kept talking about his brother Gretch, his brother G. And I'm like, G, Gretch. And after a while, I'm like, it's your brother name Gretchen Walton? He like, bro, yes, I'm Greg Walton. No, I'm like, G.X. Greg. I'm like, bro, I went to middle school with your brother, bro. I went to James Cousin with your brother, right across from the Jeffrey Projects. I grew up in the Jeffries. We used to walk across the street from the Jeffries, right across the street to James Cousin Elementary. They changed it to Dewey Center for Urban Education years later, but it was James Cousin. So I knew his brother. So we got locked in for real. And when it first came down to, he like, man, I want some ink. I was thinking about that. He said, I seen a couple of white boys cold-blooded with the ink. Slanging the ink for real. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me go ahead and figure out a design. And I want to get one. He said, matter of fact, bro, let's get we down in Virginia. Let's think about, something, on the Virginia tip. I said Nat Turner story, Virginia, for real. Nat Turner grew up in Virginia. He said, I know, so let's get a Nat Turner tattoo. But after about 3 or 4 designs, we sat down like, okay, we're gonna get the same one, bro. That'll be love, you feel me? Then we get us a little crew of little young Melanics like us who all vibing off each other energy, and we got the little crest on our shoulder or our arm or whatever, right? So boom. When the day come for us to pick the design, I said this the one. And it's the one I use for the thumbnail. It's also the one I've been showing y'all real quick. Let me get up on the camera a little bit real quick for y'all. If y'all could see it. If not, refer to the thumbnail and y'all to see the design, right? However, I forget the white boy name. He drew it up on the yard because we wasn't in the same housing unit. This dude in a whole another housing unit. So literally what I got to do is go on the yard, right? Sneak into his unit, sneak up on the first gallery, or the first tier rather, to his cell, and be hiding in that boy in between them doing their rounds, hide under the bed and all that type of stuff to get this ink. He told me what the play is. This is what you're going to need. This is what you're going to need. I don't have no more real needles, so I'm going to have to use a guitar string. So what they would do is get a guitar string, right? take them strands loose, and you get you a nice little piece. They take and they sharpen it real good, right? However they sharpen it, and they sanitize it with heat and alcohol pads and all that, right? So that was the method. The day come for us to make it happen. I'm telling GX, bro, tattoos later on, man. We like bet. I forget exactly why G ain't get his tat. I don't know if it was because he didn't want to come in the unit, or he didn't had a bread, or what happened, but he ended up not coming. So now it's just me. So now I gotta sneak, and mind you, I gotta sneak past inmates, officers, these, that, to get to this dual unit. And then it's just like crazy because certain units will be like almost more white dudes than black dudes, right? And this wasn't like no segregated thing like you would probably find in Cali or other states where it's real segregated. No, this was more or less like, okay, we just all happened to be in this unit. We decided to get moved to this unit, and it became one of them things. So it's a bunch of white dudes in there, and I'm coming up in that unit, but they mess with dudes, so they didn't, it was all love. They like, what up, okay, bro? So, get that ink. I see you, man. See, I got 42 and all. I'm all right, bet. He does good work, man. You messing with one of the best. So I'm geek. First ink, I had a plan on just flooding my chest and my arms with them and coming home on ape status. You feel me? Because that's what the mentality be, right? I mean, I'm older now. I done matured, but back then, all I wanted to do, I knew I'm in here. I'm about to come home in my mid-20s. I'm going to be big homie to a lot of dudes. I'm going to be stamped by the streets and prison. I got a bag waiting on me. I got opportunities waiting on me. It's going to be non-stop from there on out. So it's going to start today with this tattoo in Virginia, dedicated to Nat Turner, who was born and died in Virginia. So, and like I told you, I done met Nat Turner descendants. This was a proud moment for me. So, boom. I slide up in this unit. He kind of blocked me and whatnot. He talked to the guards. I slide past them. I get up on his in his gallery, get in this cell. He prepped me up, cleaned me up real good. He did it kind of nice, professional. Had a little plastic over it and whatnot. He had gloves. He had everything cleaned down. It was nice. I was impressed. He's like, man, I really do this in the street, bro. He had he got a little book of all his artwork and stuff that he had did, pictures of work he had done. He had done some dudes from some Juggalos. If y'all familiar with the Juggalos, Insane Clown Posse followers, he had did a bunch of them Juggalo dudes. He had been working behind the scenes, traveling, doing production work. That's why we hit it off in the first place, because that was what I wanted to do. He was doing stuff I wanted to do. Travel with bands, travel with groups, set up lights and sound systems, bang groupies, get blowed all night. I wanted to do that, right? I guess I got a little white boy in me, right? They say that all the time. You got a little white boy in you. I don't know, but I was attracted to all that rock star lifestyle, that traveling and whatnot. So I'm politicking with him, and I'm looking through his work, and I'm like, man, you do some good stuff. So when he started telling me, like, man, if you never had it before, it might hurt, bro. When he got to going, I'm like, oh, right. But I promise you, after about maybe them first, let me think. If y'all never got ink, for y'all who got ink, I done got ink everywhere. And I got ink on my arms, ink on my chest, ink on my forearm, ink on my hands. So I got ink different places now. But back then, my first one, the first couple of minutes, I'm in that boy like, oh my God. I'm about to tap out and just tell dude, whatever he did so far, leave that and finish it, and I'm gone. But then I started thinking about tattoos historically, ancestrally, right? Tattoos was a rite of passage. You couldn't just get a tattoo. That was a badge. That was a mark for a young man in certain cultures that said you have graduated from the ranks of boyhood to manhood. You have graduated from the ranks of being a normal man to being a general, a soldier, a warrior. So when I started thinking about that part of it and thinking about the pain aspect of it is a part of the ritual of getting a tattoo, I blocked all that pain in my mind and I dealt with it. I manned up and I was like, deep breaths, we talked it, we kicked it and whatnot. He fired up a J, you know what I mean? Cool. I tapped the J with you, right? So, when he got finished, man, and he wiped it down and cleaned that boy, I looked at it, I said, yeah, I'm official now. I'm official. I got this ink. I'm about to finish it off. I had a whole little design on how it was going to be from there to some Egyptian stuff and to these little black female angels running around and on the pyramids and stuff. I had a whole little design I wanted to do, and I was paying a dude like $40 to draw it in like a sleeve form. I was gonna keep the artwork, but he was gonna wrap it too. He was gonna trace it and wrap it and make it my tattoo. But I was paying like $40 for that, and I was gonna pay him $150 to do the tat, which was still gravy because I know dudes that paid $1,500 from work from just here to down, and more. I done seen dudes get a sleeve for like a 3-band sleeve, depending on who they went with, for real, for real. So, being that this dude had a track record, being that he was on point, and he had all these different dudes and he had took pictures with him, and you seen pictures of him tatting them up. I was like, I'm messing with dude. I'm gonna lock him in. Gave him a down payment on it. Gave him $25 on it. I had already gave dude $15 on the artwork. He ended up going to segregation to the hole for whatever reason. Now, he had some contraband or something in his cell one time, and then going there, taking all his stuff, packing him up while he was on his work duty, and locked him up while he was at work. So we didn't see him no more. So that was a waste of my artwork, waste of my money. $15 it ain't a lot, but in the prison it go a long way. You can eat a whole month off $15. For real, for real. You can make a lot of stuff happen starting off. I just started store operations, loaning and borrowing operations in prison with $7, $8 before. So I know, So anyway, I'm like, I'm about to pick dude. This is the dude I'm messing with. So I was like, I ain't get discouraged by that artwork. And I had him doing, your sister, they down there thugging. Anywho, I had different artwork, that I started sketching myself because I wasn't sloppy with the drawing. I actually drew this tag, and he just went in there and fine-tuned it a little bit for me. So pretty simple tag, dedicated to Nat Turner. You see the artwork and the scimitars, the two swords, one coming from east, one coming from west. This just stands for like a soldier front, a militant front, coming from east and west. Them swords mean we are vanguards for our people, vanguards for righteousness, vanguard for upright, standing 10 toes down, right? We upright and we fearless when it comes to nation business and nation building. So that's what them two, put my ring on. That's what those two swords symbolize. A gift from God is Nathaniel Turner. Nathaniel in Hebrew translates to a gift from God. In 1831 is the year Nat Turner was tracked down and killed and whatnot and skinned, and they took his skin and made wallets and all type of other stuff with it, lampshades and whatnot. So it was pivotal for me to get that tattoo. And I didn't get no more ink, honestly, until I came home years later and years after that, you know what I mean? However, that was my first experience, and it was like spiritual for me. It was spiritual. I felt connected to people who had got tats hundreds of years ago because it's an ancient art. I felt connected. And since then, I'm getting some more ink this year. I'm gonna get retired from the streets, probably tattooed somewhere, because this was my first time I stepped out in front of the camera after years and years. I'm talking about from 2004 on up, off and on going to prison too. But from 2004 up, I did production work behind the scenes, ran behind the scenes with some of the biggest people in Detroit, and for real. When I started collaborating with these people and they see what I'm doing, because I ain't even put them hit, most of them. When I started reaching out to them and showing them this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm building, then you ought to see these relationships and whatnot. But I definitely, it was like, yeah, tattoos is definitely something I fell in love with, low-key. The art of it, the different styles attached, the different methods, the weave-through kind that you dye the string and they lace it through your skin and whatnot, the kind they tap on. Even branding. I mean, I can understand it in certain cultures, right? Anyway, lovely experience for me. I love it. I appreciate y'all for letting me share that story with you because it's personal. It's to the chest. I wonder what Greg Walton at right now. If y'all know what Greg Walton at, brother named Gretchen Walton, and from Detroit, if y'all familiar with them brothers, know them, get in the comment section. Tell them I'm trying to holler at them. Reach out to them and get them on the platform, man. If y'all haven't done so, please subscribe. Holler at me. Hit in the comment section, like it, notification bell, all that wild stuff, right? And holler at me later, man. As always, I love y'all. Thank y'all for bearing with me. OG Kenny, O_G_Kenny, every time from the streets, TV, and I'm out.